everybody, and welcome to Zelda Speedruns, broadcasting the Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup 2022. We've got Group H for you today. It's kefffka versus Zaruvyen. Commentating for us tonight, it's Amarith and myself, and tracking is Lady Orlinda. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. So, while Ricky finishes getting us set up with some stuff on the other end, ZSR has provided me with a cool little stats thing that they started doing about, like, the runners and stuff, and I think it's a really cool little thing I've never seen before. So, these runners have actually run yesterday. This is their second match against each other. They played inverted flute-activated keys, with the winner going to Zaruvyen yesterday. I can't remember the exact time on that match, but it was quite the scene, quite intense. Definitely go give that a watch if you can. We're looking at an interesting one today. They're going to be running, I believe it was a MC boss shuffle. So that means the maps and compasses will be shuffled throughout the world. So that means 2 extra dungeon items or items inside of dungeons that can include maps and compasses as well. And the bosses are all full shuffled around. That means that there are 3 copies of bosses that will be repeated, and every other boss will appear once. So no Trinexes all over the world, nothing super crazy, but might end up still needing that ice rod. So we're gonna get going here in just a moment. Races will be off in just a little bit here, but I'm pretty excited for this match. Got one of my good buddies playing kefffka. I've seen them rolling around. They're doing pretty good lately. It's gonna be a pretty good night. How are you doing today, Ricky?
I'm doing fine. Just trying to check out volumes while listening to you on both my end and the restream end. So
that's always fun, is listening to double words back. It's like audio jamming yourself. It's one of the worst things to do, aside from talking about the back end. But here we go. We are getting off here. We got Zaruvyen starting in Link's house, getting a compass for us first. As we get the runners started, finishing syncing up here in a moment.
I think that'll be fine. So yes, hello everybody. It's been a while since I've done this too. Starting off in Link's house with both of them. So no divergence there.
Okay, cool. There we go. I'm not used to the ZSR system and how things synced a little bit. It kind of scared me a little bit.
Oh yeah. That it does that. It automatically tries to sync it for us. So
I was like, "Ooh, that jumped back weird. Was I not supposed to do that?" Oh, we got bombs and the guard pull. That'll actually make for a pretty interesting open here. It gives you sort of the decision to, if you decide to try to farm the guards to get some bombs, go down into escape and make use of those chests down in there first. And then you never really have to worry about coming up to the front of Hyrule Castle ever again.
Right. Looks like we're just getting heart pieces on both of the uncle checks here. And both runners getting 2 bombs, so very nice.
Ruby quitting after that second bomb, not really willing, it looks like, to push into the bomb pack a little bit farther. More interested in going to Sank and probably getting the kefffka to get, what is it, about 14, I think it is, items, just really quickly?
I believe that's right, yes.
Yeah, it's 13 and then 14 if you get the library item if it's there, or includes Sick Kid and then plus Lost Woods. It's a whole mishmash of items that you can get really quickly and basically for free, especially if you have bombs. Oh,
right. Taylor, I will get the bet thing on right now. And the MSU pack is on Zaru's side. It is the Lunar Silver Story MSU pack, I believe they said.
Yeah, that sounds about right. We can always find that a little later if we need. It's in here somewhere. But yeah, just finishing going through some Lost Woods here. Still nothing super exciting. Did get that Bombos though.
Thank you, Trez. Way faster than I did.
Oh, wait, did we get a Bombos? I wasn't. Yeah, he has a Bombos marked on his track. Okay, there it is.
Our tracker marked it as well, yeah. Oops, or no. Wait, why isn't that working? Oh, okay. Okay.
Just grabbing a couple extra bombs here, and that's a nice 20 rupee tree pull out of the tree there. I think that was, looks like it was the tier 2 tree pull, because kefffka has some damage on him.
Nice.
So not bad, something to keep in mind when we're thinking about Zora if Kakariko doesn't pay out to us.
Right. I was about to ask if we had seen a map check yet, and then I remembered maps were shuffled, so yeah. We do not know prices.
Check your map. Yep, we don't have any maps. And that's a sword. Nice. Always good to have some good early offense. Even if it's just a little dinky fighter sword, you take that. Because sometimes it's more worth it even just have it as a tool than the weapon. You get a glove or any sort of thing to go up the mountain. Lets you easily guide through to get the old man and get those checks up there. Like, you don't necessarily think of the versatility of some of the items you get until you're really wanting them. Ooh, and a second sword in the well there. That's a little foreboding. I'm always worried about, like, I always love seeing that first sword, but that second sword always has me like, are we gonna have to go see Aga? How's this gonna play out? Especially when you get that lamp. Oh no.
Oh, that is a bad. Hey, I know. Yeah, getting the lamp is this early along with two swords is always scary.
And as we rob the bottle vendor for 200 rupees, net profit, and continuing on through Kakariko, yeah, you're always just kind of worrying about the telltale signs of the quote Aga seed. Like, one of the biggest giveaways you'll see in the early items that'll pop up is either gloves or hammer plus a flipper, or like adding hook shot into that mix. Like, you start looking at it, it's like, yeah, we're gonna have to go pay the old wizard a visit and make him eat some dirt. But I'm sure our runners are hoping for not that. Checks are starting to dwindle here in Kakariko as we start trying to think about other places we may want to go, whether it's making what'll probably be eventually double dip into Eastern, or going straight up South Shore and hoping that you get enough money for Zora along the way.
Right, and especially with all the money they got in Kakariko Village, they're pretty close to Zora money as it is. Granted, it's not logic yet, but...
And that was an ether on the library, so it'd be interesting to see if that has to come into play at all. Unfortunately, we won't know that for quite some time.
Yeah. Right.
We have Zaruvyen blind checking the race game while kefffka just goes for the... Yeah. I know how to words. I can speak sometimes.
It's all good. So yeah, kefffka just checked the race game and bailed on the heart container. Zaru blind ran it and grabbed the heart container. So he has one heart up on kefffka.
Yeah, it's sort of like, how do you want to approach it, like, when you get to that part of checking Kakariko? Because for me, it's like, if I haven't found enough quote-unquote worth in Kakariko, I'll just blind run it. Right. Because it more likely feels like there's going to be an item there, especially when you get into like the map compass and key sanity modes. It's like there's more likely to be an item on there, so...
Definitely. And when Kakariko, all Kakariko gave you was Aga access, I would feel you're definitely blind checking it as the play. But either way works.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can't blame kefffka for, just looking at it and running, because, as long as you're comfortable on the amount of hearts that you have, like 3 and 4, you're still basically at about the same heart amount anyway.
Oh, that's a Moon Pearl and a bow and mini Moldorm Cave.
Okay, we can work with this. That means that Eastern is logically accessible, even in MC Shuffle, where, actually...
Well, logically accessible up until the boss. We don't know what the boss.
Yeah, we'll find out what the boss is, but I got into full Enemizer mode and thinking like, oh, even though it's...
Yeah, we don't have
the game still expects you to have the bow to get past the final rooms in Eastern to get to the boss, even if you're in normal Animizer and whoa.
Kefffka got bullied by the sand monsters.
Those guys are literally the worst. I need to learn like where exactly they spawn so I can just straight up avoid them.
Yeah.
Like it seems random. I know they're in like very specific spots, and you can like just completely avoid them by walking in a certain pattern, but it's not been something that I've been able to do.
Yeah. Nothing in Ice Rod Cave, but Kefffka is taking that death to just go straight to Mini Motorm now. So Agina is going to be a while until somebody checks him, I bet.
Yeah, I can certainly see leaving him until the very last in the end here, especially with so much more available. We got that bow. You're going to want to check out Saha's Closet. Go check out Eastern. Like, there's, if I can count, there's 5 checks over in Eastern.
Right.
And being that we haven't picked up any maps yet, it's still very likely to be a crystal, even if you do clear the whole thing, so...
True. Green Pendant is in Misery Mire.
You know, I'm sure Zaruvyen has some words about that, because Misery Mire is one of our friends' favorite dungeons. And to get the green pennant there just always seems to appear there in races for us. Never his favorite, never the Swamp Palace, but...
Right. And welcome, Raiders. Thank you for joining us. We got a Challenge Cup race going on. Just started. 9-minute mark here. Hope you enjoy it.
Alright, and Kefffka having gotten that tree pull actually does have Zora money, and looks like he's going to continue on to do Waterfall and Zora, so we'll get to see those checks out of him as well.
Yeah.
So as we start dipping through Eastern, though, getting the big key in the very first chest, which would be very nice if we were in a go mode type of situation, but unfortunately are not.
Right.
What boss do you think you're hoping to kind of see here at the end? Do you think, are you just kind of hoping for like a Planmo, a Moldorm, or a vanilla like Armos, or what would you be feeling, Ricky?
I would want any boss but Argus or Trinix, because we could kill any boss but Argus and Trinix right now. I would just like to not have to come back. Ooh, a glove.
Yeah, true. Glove is nice. Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute, what about Coldstare? I was like, no, we got that Bombo, so we at least have that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Coldstare would be rough with Master Sword and only 5 hearts, but...
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's a little bit sketchy of a Coldstare fight, but it's doable.
Yeah.
You know, every fight assumes you can do it without taking damage, so... Just don't get hit.
I missed. Did we see what was on the camper under the bridge?
I was not paying attention. I'm like going full ADHD mode. I haven't done commentary in forever, and I'm like my eyes are just all over the place. It's like, ooh, what's going on over here?
Right. Oh, Blue Mel from Eastern.
That's nice safety, especially if, once again, we have to deal with that Coldstare that could be at the end here.
Right.
Let's see, and Kefffka getting us those checks out of Waterfall Fairy, nice. And we got a bottle. That's nice.
Yes, very nice.
Gonna drink that for some magic and see what the fairy gives us, and we get a B in return, so... Not as great a deal as I would have liked, and at least we have a bow, so we don't have to worry about having to have saved that potion to do some sort of potion camera unlock or anything.
Oh good, nothing's on Zora Ledge.
Wonderful, so we'll be done with this area once we talk to the fish. Surprisingly, not too much out of Eastern, aside from that glove, just putting the Zora magic here that Kefka's doing.
Right. And it's just a map of Swamp Palace.
I was gonna say, I saw that hesitation of, do I even really want to pick this up? And it's like, yeah, you kind of want to. You need the information.
Yeah.
It's just the insult of, here, take this useless piece of paper.
For 500 rupees.
So we're not coming up with too much after this. We got the boss here in Eastern. We got Kefka heading over to Eastern, so he'll pick up his glove. We'll really just have Back of Escape, Agina, and a little, like, one check on the mountain, because you can't quite get Spec Rock until you have that mirror.
Exactly, yeah.
So unless something turns up, it
Alright.
looks like you might be running
Eastern
into
is oh.
It's an Argus, so goodbye.
Yay.
We'll see you a little later, maybe.
Thanks, game. Well, hopefully Eastern is not a crystal. We could just leave that alone, right? Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it would be nice to leave that forever. The only unfortunate part is that there is an item back there because of the way that, you know, that dungeon works, and that we can't just lock the big key away, and like we do for a lot of the Dark World dungeons.
Exactly, yeah. Map of Skull Woods. And 2 compasses, okay.
Compass is at least a little more handy in this mode, where when you go into the dungeon, you can check your map and then actually get to find out on which boss you'll be facing at the end of the dungeon there, so you'll know the moment you go into the dungeon whether you can complete it or not. Or if you have a Tri-Next Nightmare awaiting you.
Compass would have been nice for Eastern.
Indeed it would have.
Alright, so Zaru's gonna go check the dam. Kefka is checking Eastern.
So yeah, we're really just kind of waiting for that next piece of progression to show up to either say, go to Aga, or here's your Dark World access. So, what are you kind of feeling like is going to show up? Like, we got something between either a glove, a hammer, or like the flipper is probably going to show up. So, I'm thinking just like with how little is left and how sparse the seed has been, we're probably going to see maybe flippers at best and have to do Aga, and then sort of be forced into a pod situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of feeling as well. Like Aga, unless the hammer shows up, Aga is very much in play. But I'm kind of wondering if something's on the pyramid.
I mean, that's very likely a place that our progression could be, and that's still a forced Aga, so...
Yeah. Bombs are on Desert Ledge. I missed that when Kefka checked. And
will we make it all the way to Agina this time? We do have blue mail, so all these enemies giving the dragon some guff don't quite have enough to knock it out of them.
Yeah. We've still got bullied, but not bullied as hard. And it's a map. A useless map even. Thanks, game.
One of the 2 best maps, Hyrule Castle and GT. Here, have a map that tells you literally nothing. Okay, so Ruby is either going to Zora here or going to Aga. Looks like we are proceeding to Aga. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 rupees.
Well, unless he's doing the escape first.
Oh, right, front of escape. That actually probably makes sense to, people who are running and know what they're doing. But it's still set up very nicely that it's like you check the front of escape, you check Dark Cross.
Right, and with the map shuffled, that means there's... Well, small key's in here somewhere, so there's 3 checks he can grab in here. Or 3 items.
Well, the small key has to be either here in the first chest or in Dark Cross, so it is in Dark Cross.
Nice, so we don't have to do that.
So we got 2 guaranteed items back this way. Don't have to visit Dark Cross. We can just go straight to the wizard after this. Ooh, Tiberius asking in chat if kefffka may have forgotten that this is MC Shuffle. It's very likely that he forgot to mark about the bonus items in each of the dungeons.
Oh, dear.
Now, he's not missing too much, just because the only thing you're missing out of that is the blue mail.
Blue mail.
It's a very nice safety to have.
Yeah. Unfortunately, since it's Argus, he'll be coming back if it's a crystal.
Yeah, and he'll probably see and be like, oh, hey, I can open this, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully. Zaruvyen. Oh, okay, that works.
I was trying to figure out if I was trying to set up for the death walk or... Well...
That makes it easy to go up the mountain.
I was gonna say, that doesn't really give us much more, but it's definitely something. You know, it could just be pointing to later progression, if anything, just like maybe something in the Mire area, or...
Right. Hopefully it's not pointing to Green Pendant Mire.
Villicar. Yeah, go ahead.
Answering a question in chat. Dark Cross is not in play because there has to be a small key in the front of escape in these settings, and because it wasn't in the dungeon area, by process of elimination, it has to be in Dark Cross, and we don't need it.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the front, but it has to be somewhere between Sanctuary, Dark Cross itself, back of escape, or the very first check of front of escape.
Right.
And also recently found out, talking to one of my really good runner friends, Vortex of Doom. When you have the flute, when you activate the flute, there's so many different ways that you can get the flute to be able to play faster to get the bird out. One of the ways that I usually do is, like, if I have the boots, I'll spam the boots and flute. A lot of people know that one.
Right, yeah, I know that one.
Another slightly more less seen one, when you don't have boots, is to do a sword spin. That will also let you do it. Another one that I only recently found out from him, though, was if you activate quick swap, so just go left and right really fast, it lets you use the flute.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And I never knew that. It's like, that's a lot faster than doing a sword spin.
Yeah.
Both runners heading up the mountain now. We got one check remaining up here.
Right.
So I'm wondering, do you just kind of blind check it? Do you just rush for it, or do you just look at it kind of like what Ruby is doing right here? Oh, that's just a 20. Ruby, where are you going? Oh, fluting. Okay. I was gonna say, are you gonna go out and do a Dark World map check? Like, what's going on here? No, we're setting up to go to the Zora area.
Right. Oh boy, this is looking more and more like Ag is required.
Yeah.
Actually, what else does Zaru even have left in the Light World at this point? Once he does the out of logic flipper check.
Once he's done with the out-of-logic flipper checks, he will get that out-of-logic bottle, so he'll be able to check Sick Kid, but that'll be the only other check that we haven't seen, so... This is, as it stands, a Ag-required seed.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, fun. That's the term that I would use for it. Freelance swordmanship. Kefffka can get bad news that Agina was better left skipped in just a moment here.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of looking at what we're going to be doing the climb to Aga here, it's kind of really bare bones going into Aga compared to where you would, like to be, or even in an NMG sort of standpoint, where You're at least
Yeah.
on 7 hearts green. Like, at least Zaruvyen has 5 hearts blue compared to Kefka's 4 hearts green. But like, you don't have like Fire Rod to kill off the ball and chain guards easily, or silvers. Like,
I
it's going to be a
know.
little bit of a hustle for both the runners to get up there.
Yeah. Kefka heading up to the castle now. Probably going to escape, but then go into Aga based on his routing.
Yeah, because he doesn't have anything left. Aside from that bottle, and I don't think activating the flute is going to be enough to sway him to go check that out of logic bottle just to dip out on Aga like that.
Yeah.
And the bad news map for Zaruvyen. Although looking at their tracker, we basically have every single Dark World map already. That's kind of silly.
That's true, yeah. The only information they don't have access to right now is Turtle Rock.
Yep,
we are going to get a sick kid check on Zaru's side, though.
That definitely makes sense that Ruby would check this, because you already have the flute and it's activated, but not for Kefka. Ooh, that's the kind of safety you want going into having to do Aga. Is now you can really just like punish through and just beat through all the guards and just sort of power your way through Castle Tower.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to make that much easier for Zaru.
Yeah, I imagine Kefka will get that soon, but not for another couple minutes. Not until we've at least gone to Dark World, dipped into Pod, and find some sort of normal, conventional Dark World access to allow us wanting to go to the Kakariko area.
Yeah, Kefka's routing, while very efficient in terms of the castle, has unfortunately made it kind of not ideal to go all the way to Kakariko, just activate the flute for, well, at the moment, nothing.
Progression-wise, yeah.
And yeah, there's the Death Warp for Kefka.
Alright, so aside from just some minor things of activating the flute and getting that tempered, runners are going to be pretty close here going through Castle Tower.
Kefka, why are you going to Dark Cross?
I don't think he necessarily counted the items. I don't know if he's sure that it has to be a key or not.
No. Has he done Back of Escape? Oh no, he did Back of Escape.
I believe he had to. Well, not necessarily that he had to, but it's how do you not want to go there once you get the glove?
Right. It's gonna be a key, yeah. And then here goes another Death Warp.
So here's the conundrum that we're kind of at right now when we do get a Dark World access. We're going to check the pyramid, obviously. We really don't have access to much once we get there. We have going to Catfish for one check, and going and going into Pod. And while Pod is 7 items because we're missing the map and compass, it's kind of slow just because of the way the key situation tends to be. So
yeah, they do have bow.
You do have bow, but would you check Catfish first, being that you did get that glove, and the glove hasn't really led to anything?
I would check. I would go to Pod first. It has the density. It has the density, and yeah, it's annoying to route sometimes depending on key layout, but the density by itself is well, except for the fact that Zaru doesn't have the money for it.
Oh, that's true. We're currently about 25 rupees short, but we could pick that up along the way somewhere. Maybe there's money sitting on the pyramid. But me personally, I think I would head towards Catfish first, just so that way, even if I do get Mire, or whatever, that whole entire area is just completely gone out of my mind. I don't have to worry about Catfish Zora. That's just completely done.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, my issue with doing Catfish first is the return trip. Though if you did because you don't have the Mire, so you'd have to double back, and I don't know. For me personally, I'd rather do pod first, then go to catfish if I have to, and save and quit from there.
Yeah, and I kind of understand that, especially if you get your West Dark World access there. Like we only get like hookshot out of pod.
Right.
So it's something to be said either way. It's what are you really kind of feeling? And Divergence in chat pointing out that yeah, we could actually do the tree pull at the base of the pyramid and hope that it's rupees, which we've been killing a lot of guards and have a bit of damage on us, so we would get that tier 2 tree pull that kefffka knows is rupees, but I don't know if Zaruvyen has seen that yet. Nor if necessarily either runners know that you can tug on that one of the statues down there at the base of the pyramid, because I always forget personally. And we have the wizard go down on Zaruvyen's side as kefffka is just getting into the wizard fight. Probably get a map check here because we do have 6 of 7 maps essentially.
Yeah.
But we'll see what he does because runners, in their infinite wisdom, love to not do what we think they'll do.
We needed more money than that in the pyramid game.
we need about $20 more. Come on. Those aren't dollars. Well, looks like the lack of money is going to catfish.
Yeah. Hope to farm some of that on the way up there.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what prize pack the moblins are in. I think they're the same as the guards, but it looks like the
Okay, that's another 5.
I was gonna say these are they're ropas, right? The little squiggly guys are in the
pack, I believe they're ropas. Yeah. Well, Well, the ropes are the snakes.
I'm really terrible with the names.
Same. I am also. Oh, there's that 20. There we go.
Perfect. We got exactly what we needed. I know all your basic ones. We got the Octoroks. We got I even know some of the weird ones like the Zyzax. I was like, ooh, that's a fun name to learn.
Chat saying they are squigglies.
Yeah. They're the squigglies. It's like that one kid's show. Anyway, catfish.
Ropas are the balls of tentacles. Okay. Oh my! And there's more money in case you were. Yeah.
Here, have access to pod. Zaruvyen showing the catfish exactly what he thinks about his $300. As we do get a map check out of kefffka's side, we got the reds on Thieves Town and Swamp. We got Pennant over in pod, and the other two are crystals. So still one more pennant out there remaining, but
no, bad chat. No.
and just typing that out for reference in chat so that way we had that. Because even though that was a nice long map check, that was a lot of information to take in. So kefffka also going up and checking the catfish, going to get that bunch of money. Like I said, I kind of like that, because then you don't have to worry about ever coming back to the area again. I do have a question for you though, Ricky, because I like talking to people, asking them about this sort of thing regarding the map check. How do you remember it as, like, you do your map check and then you're going to start entering it in, like, so you can get it done as quickly as possible?
Oh, I am slow. I leave the map up there as I'm clicking. Like, I'll focus on the 5, 6, and the pendants, but that is a skill I'm very bad at.
Yeah, because I know I've talked with Zaruvyen on occasion on what he does. He actually remembers it in exactly the dungeon order, so he looks at it from, like, if you're doing the Dark World map check, he remembers it from Pod, Swamp, Skullwoods, Thieves Town, the dungeon number order.
Right. Yeah,
that's kind of interesting.
I'm good at doing that on the light world. I can do a quick glance, go like, pendant, crystal kind of thing. But dark world, I take too long.
Yeah, it sort of just depends on like what you're able to do memory-wise and how you remember things. Because me personally, I remember like the general like shape of the map and just put them there in my head. So it's kind of hard to explain, but
I get you. Interesting.
Okay, the flute.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna save and quit anyway, you definitely want that flute activated. I guess he might be thinking, oh, if I find the mirror in pod along with whatever progression we find, like if we find gloves, it'll be quicker to just get back to Kakariko and do what we need to do, as well as wanting to see what that bottle turned into.
Zaru doing the big key chest for using a key to get a key.
Yeah, pretty much nothing but keys so far here in the front, except for that $50 there, right there.
Yeah.
Animus United in chat mentioning about the tracker that they use is actually it keeps the dungeons in an order that's shaped like the map, and I actually do really like that. It does that on, I believe we probably use the same tracker, so definitely helps with find that. Right? Yes, that's Codeman's version of the tracker, which is very nice, very handy. A little bit on the heavy, systems side, but versatile if you can get used to it. Right. 4 keys so far in the front.
Oh, there's the mitts.
Of course it's mitts. And being that we don't have the hammer, we have to take a death warp out of here to get back to the front. Which on Blue Man, a little bit more annoying to do with the jellyfish, so just going to jump down here and get it on the spikes. So getting that glove opens up our West Dark World access, gives us the Skullwoods area, Thieves Town.
Right. Gives us Mire access as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'd be actually kind of thinking about that, considering we did get that flute, and kind of want to check and see if that ether is going to be required. Also, it's a little bit like poetic, kind of funny, like that one each of the gloves was an Eastern and a pod. Nice hook shot game, thank you. That one each of the gloves was in Eastern and pod on the right side. Right side of both dungeons, so kind of a little weird. Game playing jokes, as we always like to say.
Right.
And it looks like our big key is in the Dark Maze, so no Hammer Yump today.
I mean, as much as I hate Pendant Pod, at least the seed forced you in there.
Yeah, it basically said, hey, you have to go here. It's not like the choice of, is it going to be Pendant Pod or is it going to be Pendant Thieves Town? Which one do you want to go for today? You know you're going to choose wrong.
Yep.
Alright, as we come up on the final item here in pod, at least for now, because the last one will be locked by the hammer in Helmasaur, or whatever is in the Helmasaur spot today. Just a piece of heart, so only the gloves and the hook shot over there in pod.
Well, quote unquote only. I mean, they only open up the map.
Only. You know what I mean.
I know.
Zaruvyen understandably heading to the mountain, having gotten mitts and hookshot, so between getting access to Paradox Cave, Hookshot Cave, Super Bunny Cave, Turtle Rock, looking at, go stare at some turtles.
Answering chat, yes, it is Boss Shuffle with Map Compass Shuffle as well, so that's the Boss Miser MCs. Map Compass Shuffle and Boss Shuffle.
Yep, and it is the full version of the boss shuffle, so that means that every boss will appear once, except for 3 selected bosses, which will appear twice. So far, the only boss that we have seen is an Argus at Eastern Palace. Kefffka getting their Death Warp and heading towards the back of their pod and going to get their hook shot, and we'll see where they end up going after this. I'm kind of hoping we see them go to like the Mire area, because that's what I would do first, is get all your save and quits out of the way. Maybe find Mire, get your knowledge on Mire.
Yeah.
Because I would want whatever I can get before I go up to the mountain.
Paradox Cave,
being mostly a bust.
Nothing. Has a bottle, which is nice, but other than that, it's amazing how often Paradox Cave, despite being 7 checks, is just empty.
I mean, usually it's the new hype cave. Usually there's at least something in there, though. Maybe that's just a sign that this seed hype cave is actually going to be hype. Who knows?
Answering another question in chat. Yes, if you have the compass in Boss Shuffle and you check the map inside the dungeon, it'll show you the icon for the boss. But because compasses are shuffled, you need to have the compass. And that complicates it a little bit. But that is a feature.
Yeah, just a little bit. And I do remember when they were making all those icons for the bosses. It was a really kind of fun little event of just making those cute little boss pictures. And some of them were a little bit difficult, but still overall fun little thing. And that's half magic on Floating Island. We probably won't be getting that.
Yeah, actually, that compass feature is a recently added feature to the randomizer in the past, I would say, 6-7 months?
Yeah, it's something kind of in that range. It was around the time when League was going on, I think. I think it was just in time for League.
Keep forgetting. It feels like that was such a short time ago, and it's already the end of April. I'm kind of like, where the heck has this year been going?
I was going to say, like, that's just how time goes in general these days. It's like it's been 5,000 years and 2 weeks at the same time. Looks like Kefffka taking that hookshot up the mountain as well, so lockstep right behind the dragon.
Yep.
Hot on the heels, you could even say.
Yeah, Kefka's going to do their barren Paradox Cave.
Yeah, at the very least we get about 6 more checks here, and then the bearing on Turtle Rock. And those blocks giving Zaruvyen just a little bit of trouble.
Yep. See if Super Bunny Cave has anything good in it. And that's a nope. And a nope. Because no, I do not think the Bugnet is a good thing.
I mean, some would argue it's one of the best go modes. It puts Agate in logic in some cases. Also known as Swordless, one of the best modes. As we jump into Hookshot Cave here, which contains
nothing!
Just a lot of money and some hearts. So,
good grief.
The mountain, very much awash, very empty. Game,
yeah.
What are we doing?
Alright, it's Screaming Mire Shed, I think.
It's either got to be like Mire Shed, like Front of Skull Woods, or Thieves Town, really.
Ooh, Bombos for Turtle Rock.
Alright, so we at least have that. We know Mire's a pendant, so we're likely not, hopefully, going in there. But going into the Mire area probably now, when we do have Hookshot, that could be another pointer that just some sort of progression is sitting in Mire. There are 4 items in there as opposed to the normal 2, so...
Getting our Mire check now, hoping that it's not Bombos. I think that was Bombos.
That is indeed Bombos, so we can go in. You love to hate to see it.
Green Pendant Mire is open.
Not completely beatable because we don't have the Samaria yet, but...
Well, I mean, the front of it's open, so I mean, you can't do Vitreous, but that's about
it's
it.
at least 6 checks.
Oh, I mean, not Vitreous. Whoever happens to be in the boss room today.
Whoever is
playing it.
whoever is reprising the role of Vitreous today,
Hmm.
be it a Helmasaur or Trinex, 6 Armoses and Trenchcoat. Kefka about to get the bad news that the mountain is mostly awash. I'd be interested to see where Kefka goes after here, if he continues following in the dragon's footsteps and going into the Mire area, or decides, you know what, I'm tired of this, let's just go to like Thieves Town, Skull Woods, and just start knocking out these dungeons that I know are crystals.
Right.
Especially since this is Boss Enemizer, however you want to call it. With Thieves Town, you don't even have to save the maiden. You can just go straight to the back or right to the boss and see if it's Landmo if you don't have the compass.
True, yes.
Landmo blind, you know, whatever boss may be back there. If it's Landmo, I'm gonna freak out a little bit, but
Oh, nice. Oh, Mothula's in the back of Mire.
What a boss to have in Mire. I actually don't kind of like that. Like, as easy of a boss that Moth is, like...
Well, because you got the slime under him in that room.
In like the back third of the room, and Moth kind of has that tendency of just like sort of sit in the back of the room sometimes, so you're going to be forced to take that damage.
Yeah.
And that's a spiky floor.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, Zaru's bailing out of that.
He's just going to take that one map and run, or the compass and run. I don't think that was a key in the other chest, so...
It was a key in the other chest. In the spike chest had a key.
Alright, so that was Eastern and Desert as blue crystals, so we have one pendant remaining between Hera and Turtle Rock. And our runner is pseudo-syncing back up here as they enter the Village of Outcasts area.
Right, but Kefka
Zaruvyen
goes
heading
north.
south.
Yeah, Zaru
Yep.
goes south.
Just a heart piece there on the chest game. As Kefka goes and checks out what 4 items total we got here in Skull Woods.
Right. The shovel. It's something at least.
It's an item leading to it's promissory for another item. It was an item IOU. And just heading right into Thieves Town, not checking the C-shaped house. Definitely understand that a lot of players do that. I wasn't looking. What happened?
The small key of Thieves Town, the very first chest in Thieves Town.
You hate to see
the
it.
hammer.
You hate to see it, but also that's kind of a pointer telling you that, you know, everything in the back is in logic here. So it kind of probably had to show up. Could just mean that the hammer is a little bit more down logic.
Yeah.
Kefka is going to use the Bombos, get rid of the Gibdos here, and just say, I don't want to deal with your crap and when I'm trying to push the statue over the switch.
Yeah, totally.
Not really much in this Thieves Town, so...
Yeah, front has been kind of dry. Skull Woods has also been kind of dry. Oh, great. Big key. Thanks, game.
I mean, why not? Vanilla Big Key. We've seen weirder.
Fair.
I had a cross keys last night where I had a vanilla Ice Palace Big Key, so it's just like...
It's vanilla blind. Except you
Vanilla
can't do
blind.
the script.
Nope. It's vanilla. You screwed up once blind. Except you'd think that they'd convey some sort of advantage to blind because there's no light in the room, so...
This is true. That's true. Right. Well, Zoro takes it down easy. And finally, our first crystal of the seed.
Hooray! And our in-logic $20 on the boss. Our tracker calling Hammer in Swamp, and you know what? At this point, it wouldn't surprise me. 300 there for Kefka up on the bumper ledge. Will not be picking that up today. We got plenty of money rolling around.
Yeah, Zaru bailing on the back of Thieves Town, which makes some sense. I mean,
I was gonna say certainly understandable without the hammer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like in Zaruvyen's position, you're probably doing dig game here, grabbing the Smith, doing the South Dark World loop, and then turning him in quickly.
Yeah. The problem for me personally is just I get nervous that what if the hammer is in the back of Thieves Town? Yeah, as chat is calling, yes. That is my main issue with that. Ooh, butter sword. I'll take that easy.
Hooray! That means that we will be having nice buttered pig at the end of this.
As if it wasn't greasy enough.
I mean, hey, some people will argue that butter makes everything better, and to a degree, they're right. Alright, we'll see where Kefka ends up going in here once they're done with the front of Thieves Town, whether they decide to dive all of the back or just go straight for blind and then ditch like Ruby did.
Right. Meanwhile, we've got the blacksmith on an adventure on Ruby's side.
Yep, we're going on our tour of Hyrule.
Oh, the boots. On Stumpy.
Very nice find. You'd rather have them, especially in a spot like that where you were destined to go into it anyway and not have it be like in Spike Cave where it's like, well, I was skipping that for several hours.
Right.
Oh, and unfortunately for our guest at by our tracker earlier, we can't quite get into Swamp just yet because we don't have the Mire yet.
Right. That was Quake. Anything else in here? Oh, the flippers.
Yeah, that might also be needed to get into Swamp Palace.
Well, we have access into ice now.
I know, I was just thinking that. I was like, ooh, we have access to ice. Ugh.
Without Samaria or Hammer.
It's more so that hammer and then the Samaria. It's like the Samaria is convenient. The hammer is kind of necessary.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Just some bombs in the buried treasure spot.
Oh, Kefka is going to the back of Thieves Town.
Yep, so we're going to see at least 2 checks here. Maybe possibly a hammer sitting like blind cellar or something because, you know, who's not seen that before? Twitch chat loves to see it, though. Gotta watch out for these the crickets here. They will do 2 hearts of damage on green mail, so
and
they're quite aggressive.
And Kefka just doing habit, breaking open the floor when, ooh. Samaria's on Blacksmith.
That's a spot for Blacksmith, and... Wait a minute. Was I really not paying attention that hard, Lady Lauralinda, that like Hammer was actually in Swamp and I just
No. No one's been inside Swamp.
Wait, you're messing with me. Stop doing that. I can't take that kind of torture. Oh, Skull Woods, okay.
Oh, hey, it was in Skull Woods. Oh, hi.
You know what? That's fair. I've mixed up Skullwoods and Swamp Palace in my head so many times because it's SPSW, like... Oh,
yeah, that's fair, yeah. Yeah, Green Pendant.
Especially because it's Greg. our good buddy Greg. Because, like, for me, it's one of those things that's like, yeah, Skullwoods, Swamp Palace, like, the Skullwoods area sort of feels more swampy to me, if that makes sense.
No, I get that.
And Ruby gonna get in the boots checks here between the not quite as useful Bonk Rocks, but gonna go check out King's Tomb here in just a second. Was there anything in the Thieves big? I don't think I really saw anything.
I didn't see anything.
So kefffka doing the single dip of Thieves down here. Ruby will be able to skip the back and hopefully not have to come back. Think about having to come back. Boy,
Right.
we found all the maps first. Now we're finding all the compasses. Cool, thanks, game.
Right. Now, the only issue is that Zaru needs to make his way into Skull Woods to get that hammer at some point.
Yeah, it's just making the decision on where you want to go and where are we going, Zaruvyen? What are you?
Argus,
oh,
get
you
that
go
person.
Argus. Can certainly understand that, especially if you're at a point where you're not going to be able to do the dungeon much faster, and you just sort of need that think time of like, what do I need to do because I don't know where to go. Like,
Right.
go do the thing that is going to be on a set time, and just take that time to think. But kefffka going to be able to get a little bit around the world a little bit easier having that hammer.
Yes.
That'll likely drive him to ice a little sooner because having the hammer and eventually picking up that Cane of Samaria, I'd imagine he does Smith Chain in some capacity here, just like Ruby did. So he'll be able to quickly dispatch Ice Palace once he gets there.
Ruby trying to do a swag strat there, but the Stalfos denied him.
They usually do. Anytime the game can screw you up and be like, hey, don't do that, you're not allowed to do cool things. And kefffka skipping out on hammer pegs, and kind of understand that, wait until you have to go there to go get
Yeah.
grab the purple chest at least.
I think Zaru skipped hammer pegs as well. I don't remember seeing.
Yes, but he also doesn't have the hammer, so.
Oh, right, yeah, that would be why. Yes.
Very easy to skip something when you can't do it. What do you mean you didn't have the tool for the job? Zaruvyen getting in those nice hook shot pulls and pokes with the puffs there, just one-shotting them with the poke instantly. So unfortunately, we have to do Argus the slow way and just hit him twice when he jumps up. We don't have any rods to do the quick kill. Just for another bottle.
kefffka about to get their boots.
Yep, and we'll be getting that Quake and Flippers here momentarily. Alright, Ruby, where are you going to? You had your think time.
Okay. Hopefully this is a Skullwoods play.
Yeah, this is looking like it's going to be Skullwoods. Either Skullwoods or back to Thieves, but I'm leaning more towards the Skullwoods play, and it's definitely the correct call in this case to get that hammer.
Yeah. Go north. Nope, that's south. You need north.
Maybe he's thinking purple chest then. That's the only thing really this way.
Oh, we just changed our minds. Going back north.
Where are we heading? Oh, he didn't check upper ledge.
Okay. Detouring for a
Which,
moment.
This is fine, but personally I would have waited until after doing the Skullwoods, especially because you don't even have the cape yet.
Right.
So it's not like you could get the item if there was something there anyway, so that's kind of why I've stopped checking like Lumberjack 2 early, because if you don't even have the piece to get it, don't even put it on your mind. It's just a waste until you can really actually have it be in logic almost. Like unless you're just conveniently in the area, so. Ruby not quite happy about seeing that big key there. Because, as we all know, game has jokes. loves putting things in its vanilla spots. And kefffka getting in their light world map checked, so that way they know that there's only one pendant and crystal remaining between Turtle Rock and Eastern. Which, right, we did get the kill on the Armo slot for Zaruvyen, so we know that was, I think we know that was a crystal, right? We saw a crystal there?
What?
On the Eastern slot, because Zaruvyen did
kill... Oh, yes, that was a crystal.
Okay. I didn't look at it because I started looking at kefffka at that time when the crystal dropped, because I was like, everything's done here. And kefffka actually stopping by to pick up that Mire medallion, Ether medallion. Not necessarily necessary for any of the dungeons in the seed, but
right. I don't think kefffka's actually been to Mire's. That's probably why you picked it up.
I believe you may be right. But also in that, it's your third one, it guarantees it. It's actually better for clearing rooms than bombos just because it's faster. Like when you get to the climb, like if you need to clear all the Stalfos in a room, it's faster just to push the ether button than to push the bombos button. And kefffka looking like he's going to go turn in the purple chest here. Zaruvyen, having gotten that hammer, is heading straight for Ice Palace, though. Which, totally understandable. You have both your fire sources. You got the hammer, you have the cane. Ice isn't getting too much faster. Or wait, we don't have both fire sources, we have one. Probably banking on then that we're going to deal with the, quote, rule of fire, as a lot of people like to call. In that, of course, the coldest area in the game, which you need a fire source to unlock, has your fire.
Right.
And that was a little close. Had me a little worried there, but gets into the basement of Ice Palace just fine. Because actually, if you kill all the Baris, the jellyfish, and enter the door as the jingle is going off, you will set off Jingle Glitch and despawn all the enemies and make the dungeon unclearable.
I thought that was patched out.
Because they patched, like they had to patch it back in, or they had to patch the quadrant glitch back in because it was causing problems. Okay. I don't remember if it was only the GT one that they got rid of, or if they were able to get rid of all instances of it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So a little unsure on that one.
Well, there's the fire rod on purple chest.
You know, why wouldn't it be? You know, just the hyper value blacksmith chain today with Samaria and fire rod.
Yeah.
You know, blacksmith chain that normally has literally nothing on it when you decide to, check it. And that's the cape in the vanilla big key chest there in Ice Palace. Another one of those not necessary but nice convenience items.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which unfortunately, if you're someone like me, cape showing up like that kind of starts setting off your alarm bells for Spike Cave, and you start having really bad flashbacks of just every time you've lost having something in Spike Cave.
Right, both runners now in Ice Palace. Cape, answer a question in chat. Cape locks a bumper ledge, but it can also lock Spike Cave, unless you find Burna.
Yes, Spike Cave logic is unlocked by a combination of either just Cane of Burna or Cape and one magic bar extension, limited to a bottle or half magic, basically. And yes, Cape can also block Aga 1 with a sword and cape. But also finding that fire rod in the one chest, purple chest, isn't going to make Ice Palace too much faster for Kefka than it is for Zaruvyen right now, just because they're both on gold swords. So fire rod shots and gold sword being equivalent damage to cold stare. Well, wait a minute, no, we might not necessarily have cold stare down here. I don't know who we have.
Right.
We've not gotten a compass for here. Could be the curse of Trinex. Who knows? We'll find out in a moment.
It's not.
Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not the one Trinex, but this is one of the arenas that Trinex can appear in.
Okay.
We have a very chilled out Helmasaur. I kind of like that, the purple of the mask, or pinkish kind of on the mask.
Yeah.
It's a cute little Helmasaur. He's a little angry, but...
Well, yeah, he's angry you broke his mask.
Well, yeah. Who just asked him to take it off?
For the mushroom, okay.
Have another fetch quest. Enjoy! So we've seen 3 bosses so far, no repeats just yet.
Right. Alright, so where does Zaru go now? Oh, Hera, I guess?
Yeah, you might be heading for like a Hera into Spike Cave. Because in his position right now, you don't really have a lot left. Like, you go into Pod, but it feels bad because of Pendant.
Right.
And that's all for one item, not even a green pendant. There's, I think, 1 or 2 items left in Mire. I don't remember if we opened the... or no, we only opened the 1 check in there, so there's still a couple items sitting in there. Kefka gonna go say hi to the bubblegum Helmasaur.
Because right now, Kefka can go into the back of Skull Woods and finish off that dungeon, potentially, but Zaru can't.
Yeah, depending on what boss is there. Actually, thinking about what Zaruvyen's doing, I kind of understand the choice to go to Hera here. It's a dungeon. You're likely going to be able to beat whatever boss is up there, likely.
And it'll give you your final information you need.
Yep. Whether it's Crystal or Pendant, you'll be able to do Spike Cave after. After you're doing Spike Cave, you're going to have no magic. Go do Fake Powder real fast and then turn into your Mushroom. Until he decides to prove me wrong and doesn't do that, but... Kefka, I think, feeling the same way here. Doing very much a similar play, or fluting. Where are we going?
I think that's Skullwoods.
Yeah, it looks like Skullwoods.
Yeah, I don't think he has anything else in this area of the map but Skullwoods. Oh, it's Vitreous and Hera.
That's a fun boss to have on Hera.
Yeah, but with Cape and Butter Sword, a lot easier. Well, okay.
Ooh, Ruby, you gotta be careful there. Not, yeah. I don't know if you can bug out the fighter not killing the big guy like that before all the small ones show up.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if you can. It might be. Do you go to the basement now? That's a tough question because you don't have the mirror to come back out, so getting out of the basement is slow.
That was a crystal, though, so that means Turtle Rock is a pendant.
At the very least. Yeah, looks like we're going to the back. We do plan on taking some damage because we've released the fairy, so... as we go ahead and take some damage for the first half of the coffee break.
Oh, we have another Argus in the back of Goldwoods.
That's a fun fight. Our first repeat boss, at least, so that means there's 2 more out there that will repeat.
And Hera Basement was just the map of Misery Mire, which we already knew.
So once again, in normal fashion, the runners are doing exactly what I didn't expect them to do, and Zaruvyen is going to go head over to Open Turtle Rock and see what he can progress in there. And Kef gets the item under the bridge, and finishing off Skullwoods for another heart. So, pulling out his loot. Where are you going, kefffka? What's on your mind? What are we completing? Where are we going? Yep, kefffka going to take his think time on the Argus boss. Remembering, hey, we just saw one of those, and we're going to need to clear that dungeon anyway.
Zaru enters Pendant Turtle Rock. Still look. Oh boy, though doesn't have the fire rod, so we'll see
Correct.
how the key layout. Ooh, the key layout locks him. Okay.
Good to know that. Where do you think you're going?
Out. I don't know why. He wants to go do Spike Cave, I bet.
I guess, but I think I would have taken the Death Warp personally.
Fair.
But what do I know? I'm not running this, so.
Oh, they have a ferry for Spike Cave. That's right. He just got a ferry. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, true. So we can't Death Warp. So, all right. Are you also going to use up your magic so you can fake powder and turn mushroom? I need to get the timing down on dashing on spikes like that. I can never seem to get it.
Okay, so runners are... Zaru is missing the fire rod and the mirror for go mode, if I'm not mistaken. And we're hoping we don't need the ice rod.
I was gonna say, Ice Rod gives us boss mode, so...
So right now it's kind of a question of where are the mirror and the ice rod?
They are in checks that we haven't opened yet. We're gonna make the dip back into Mire. Doing everything he possibly can to put that purple chest out of his mind.
Yep.
Can't really blame him on that, but...
I mean, he also hasn't done hammer pegs. That would be an incentive to go back to sooner rather than later.
I mean, yeah, as well as the opportunity to do fake powder, which, like I said, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't run their magic for doing. Alright, kefffka looking like he's going to do his Hera area. Rillikar, yes, Trinex can be in GT. I believe the only boss location that he can't be in GT is the Moldorm 2 location.
Right.
Other than that, I think every arena is available for Trinex to show up at. The only one he can't show up at is Skull Woods, I think.
Answering question in chat, we've seen 2 Arguses, 1 Vitreous, and 1 Blind. And we know Mothula...
Mire.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And then Hemelstar in Ice Palace. That's right.
And unfortunately, nothing really super exciting here in Misery Mire.
The fire snake goes up into that corner.
Oh, it's just the worst. Once it gets stuck there, it's stuck there forever.
Yeah. There we go.
Alright, one of the last checks here in Mire. More bombs. And a key. I think that's the 3rd key, so the last item is on the moth here at the end.
Yeah.
Also kind of funny that we're fighting Vitreous on one side, but we're in Mire on the other.
Right.
And another question in chat, yes, all bosses are guaranteed to appear at least once. 3 bosses will appear exactly twice. As kefffka loads up on his 5th crystal. Yes, Ruby, you have to hit that switch first, unfortunately.
Kefka's going to do the Hera basement and be very disappointed that it's just a map.
Is that the case, Garrison? I thought each boss had to appear, and it just nukes the seed if it can't place a valid boss.
I mean, wouldn't it just... I mean, if it's having trouble placing Trinex, wouldn't it just place Trinex first to avoid that?
No, because I think all the items get placed first, or all at least like the keys and all that map stuff gets placed first, and then bosses, and then items. I can't remember the fill algorithm. It's for all the math nerds. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
They can deal with it.
Alright, so nothing in Mire. Got the green pendant, at least, but...
For what that's worth. Yeah, really starting to get down here to slim pickings for Ruby. You're going to turn that green pendant and be like, I guess I'll do purple chest.
Oh, you know what, Garrison? I think I know what you're talking about. I think I have seen a full shuffle that had 3 of the same boss. I was confused.
I'd love to see a spoiler log on that just because I haven't seen it personally, so that'd be an interesting thing to confirm. I imagine that it'll re-roll just the bosses or something once the new logic in version 32 is out in sometime in the next between now and infinity. Yep, here we go. Zaruvyen draining his magic on his way to go check the magic bat and then do purple chest and all that fun stuff. Gonna get his fire rod.
Yeah, while Kefka is going into Turtle Rock with the Fire Rod, so he will not be locked.
Yeah, he can make a deep run all the way to Laser Bridge at the very least, so... Yes, exactly. Version 32 will be out sometime between now and when Half-Life 3 is released. Oh, come on, Zaruvyen. You said you like shields. The bat gave you one of your favorite items. You're always so on about, like, man, how come all you people don't like shields?
The Bara trolling Kefka, knocking him off his platform.
Yeah, kind of agree, Kefka. Just take that quick death there and get a quick revive and heal, go back to the front. The mushroom, however, is nothing, so...
Right.
So that means onward to Purple Chest. Probably. After the green pendant.
Right.
Because again, we can't do the things that the commentators say when they say them. No, that would be easy. What do you mean you want to try and call and predict what the runners are going to do? That's just silly.
It's just a hard piece. Sorry, you gotta do Purple Chest. Because at this point, I'm beginning to think the mirror has to be locked behind Fire Rod.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it's going to be in Turtle Rock here, I think. And here we go. Zaruvyen's like, fine, I'll go check Purple Chest. Kefka, you could have dashed out of there with the cape. Probably. Yeah, you gotta line up with the hammer pegs in order to not bonk on them just a little.
Cat calling for pedestal hype. Which, I mean, the remaining
They always
pendants
do.
are in logic, which is kind of scary, but... Okay, finally, Zaro gets the Purple Chest. Gonna get his Fire Rod very shortly. Mire. They need the mirror to go into Swamp.
Yes, at minimum we need the mirror to get into Swamp and Desert. Or the book at least to get into Desert. And Ice Rod will give us boss mode and the ability to kill all the bosses.
Oh, speaking of, there's the mirror.
What a spot.
Wow. Pendant Tiara Lava Chest. Thanks, game. Okay.
Always a classic. Let's just put garbage on top of garbage.
Right. So, as long as we don't run into Trinex, Kefka is presumably in Go mode.
That is how things are looking. So you do have to worry, he could show up. We have how many bosses between here and endgame right now? We got at least four. Five if we have to go to Ice Armos.
Right.
Which that's 4 out of 8, so you essentially have like a 50% chance of running into that Trinex. Yes, also known as Schrodinger's Go mode. You don't know until you check it.
Everyone's favorite part of Bossimizer.
Speaking of, give me one moment. Let me take a look at this.
Oh, good. Desert Palace Big Key in its vanilla location. Awesome.
Always a treat.
Zaru taking on Argus in the Back of Skull Woods.
Okay, so let's see here. We had Argus in Eastern. Tower of Hera had Vidi. Because, one of the community members, Structural Mike, to do a little bit of a shout out on here, actually created a spreadsheet where you can insert in all the bosses, and it'll basically tell you the percentage chances of finding each boss remaining in a full boss shuffle.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So I'm just punching that in for what we got right now. Oh, we have an Armos in Desert. Interesting. Okay, I think that's all the bosses that we've 100% seen so far. So our chances of Trinex are... Yep, about a 20% chance in each of the remaining 5 spots.
Okie dokie.
Because he cannot appear in the Moldorm 2 slot, and that's the only place remaining that he can never show up.
Right.
Zaruvyen making the very correct call now, going into TR again, going to get his Mire and get into go mode.
Right. Meanwhile, Kefka gets to finally enter Swamp Palace.
So despite being seemingly a little bit behind most of the seed, Kefka having the lead now, at least crystal count wise and getting into the actual clearable dungeons wise, mostly on finding that fire rod at purple chest.
Yeah.
Like that was definitely huge.
Yeah, definitely. Answer your question in chat. The runners get to know what mode they're doing about 10 minutes before the race actually starts.
Yes, when they roll the seed, they get the metadata on the seed, and it tells them, hey, you're playing this mode today. I'm not sure if I agree necessarily with skipping all the chests in Swamp like Kefka's doing. Like, I would be a little worried and check at least stuff along the way for the Ice Rod, but...
Oh, was that Armos again?
I did not see. Let me see if I can catch it on the,
yes.
the other end.
Yeah, it was Armos.
Okay, so that is an Armos in Swamp Palace. Very, very interesting. So with that on the estimator here that good old buddy, once again, Structural Mike had created, it looks like we have a very high chance actually of seeing Trinex at Land Mode 2 is what it's guessing.
Okay.
And this is based on a bunch of simulated runs where the bosses are appearing now and where they can and cannot appear based on what bosses have shown up. You know ZSR's rules a little bit better than me. Is it okay to share that link to the chat?
Well, yeah, that's just the public schedule.
Oh no, the thing that Structural Mike had made.
Oh, the spreadsheet? I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before I just paste it and be like, no, don't do that. I'm a little curious here to see though if kefffka decides to stop into the refill room here in Swamp that not many people really go into or know about, the little bombable wall in the middle here. Pick up a couple arrows, but
Zaru is continuing on into Turtle Rock after getting his mirror.
I think he's trying to. I think he's trying to play against the ice rod. Like, he probably feels behind having found that fire rod so late, and is worried about the Trinex, and very rightfully so,
Sure.
being that it can very much show up in the way.
So. Okay. Yeah.
That's a very typical check of doing that and into a Mimic Cave. A lot of people check that first. Either that or... no, he checked, he got the crystal out of Hera, so... Yes, he knows that this is a pendant.
Okay, so kefffka just did a go mode Swamp Palace, and they are leaving. So they're betting on not needing Ice Rod.
And I'm just looking at Zaruvyen's tracker here. I don't know if he did a map check in Turtle Rock at all, but it looks like he has Trinex marked in the Trinex spot.
Yeah, yes he does. I mean, he does have the compass for Turtle Rock, so it's possible he knows. I just didn't see the map check myself.
I was gonna say I didn't see the map check, but I'll have to ask him what he was thinking at that time. Though, like maybe he just forgot that it was a pendant, because he doesn't actually have the map for Turtle Rock, so it's not marked, but it's marked on his tracker. So he might not just be paying attention to that. Not sure.
Right.
Meanwhile, kefffka has gotten all 7 crystals and is heading up the Ganon's tower there to go find that wonderful, wonderful big key and make his way to the top wizard. As we get to see Laser Bridge here. For 2 more items. With a lot of big 20s in the way, and the final item is more 20. Yeah, Ruby, understandably, getting into his crystal mode now. Gonna finish off Desert really fast. Gonna do Swamp. And kefffka heading toward the left side of GT first. So...
Sorry about that. I was changing the audio over to kefffka's, so I had to mute everything.
Oh no, that's fine. We're gonna see if going DM first is the way to go. Don't ask me about GT key layout, because no one understands it. Even if they claim to understand it, they don't understand it. Because I thought I understood it, and then I got it wrong, and I was like, well, I hate everything right now.
So I see we have all the small keys loaded up in the front, it appears.
Yep, that was 3 smalls and 1 pot small, so we got 1 small remaining. Very likely that the big key is in one of the 4 key locked rooms. That is one of the only few things that you can actually know about the key logic correctly. Because yeah, there's a lot of like silly little nuances with the GT key logic, little things that you could probably infer, but usually too late.
Right.
Like Like, you can make inferences when it's in tile room and not sometimes. The whole finding a small key in either compass room or rando room means that the big key is there, but you don't really gain an advantage on that anyway.
Yes, GT Gauntlet is required to finish the seed because it is a defeat Ganon.
Yes, this is not a fast Ganon seed. Just boss shuffle and MC shuffle.
Ooh, wow, okay. I rarely see the big key in that chest, wow.
Yep, that one is 4 key locked typically, 3 key locked under certain circumstances, which I can't remember, I think. So it's, like I said, it's a little weird. No one understands key logic. And if they say they understand key logic, they're lying.
Alright, time to see if Kefka's gamble is going to pay off. Will he run into a Trinix on this climb?
Well, we didn't see Ice Armos, and
Nope.
I don't remember we actually did see that map check from Zaruvyen, but in fact, I'm going to take just a quick couple seconds and use my Super Pod scrubbing powers to see if we did in fact get a map check there.
Alright.
Nope, we did not get a map check there. He just sort of clicked it on. It was just like, I'm not sure why. So Trinex could still be at the top here. We don't know.
Okay. So Zaru finished going through Turtle Rock, but did not check the boss, correct?
Correct. He didn't go poke into the boss room. It was just like when he came in the second time with the fire rod, he just kind of marked it as Trinex.
Right. Now Zaru's just entered. Okay, here we go.
This is
It's
a cold
stare.
stare.
Okay.
I was gonna say when the floor changes color like that going into land mode 2, I'm pretty sure it's cold stare. As be careful, the floor kind of collapses out under us, and no, it's still actually there, but just a little bit harder to see now because you melted all the ice.
Yeah, so that means Ice Rod's not required. Kefka has a clear shot to Ganon and the end of the seed.
Yeah, so bosses we didn't see this seed. We hadn't seen a Landmo, we haven't seen a Moldorm. Kefka's gonna check these couple chests up here. Understandably so. Silvers could always be here. They love to actually be here sometimes. Anything that just sort of speeds up your fight just a little bit is really kind of nice.
Yeah. Ooh. Bottle.
Yeah, you take that free bottle. As our final boss on the tower aside from Agatu is
Mordor.
It's the 4-eyed freaky Moldorm. So far, very nice Aga too out of kefffka here. I didn't see exactly how many cycles that was.
That was very quick.
What was that? A 3-2-1? It looked like.
Potentially.
It was either a 3-2-1 or a 2-2-2 or something like that. The last one only looked like one, so. Doing that commentator ADD thing where I was looking in just the wrong spot for like enough seconds that I completely missed how many cycles it was. And dropping it on the pig. Gold sword in hand. Oh hey, we did pick up silvers. I wasn't paying attention to that either. Looked like those were in the our validation chest there, so very fast fight here.
Wait, I'm sorry. Chat's saying the silvers were in the validation chest? Come on.
Of course they were. It's the validation chest. You open that chest to make yourself feel good.
Oh,
and by that I mean you feel bad because the silvers are there and you're like, why?
Why indeed?
And sometimes the boots are there and you're like, I don't like you. Ooh, Ganon blocking that torch shot. kefffka understandably trying to be a little bit careful, conserving magic. He does have the green potion, but every second counts when you're on Ganon here, because nerves are up, you're on the final fight, the opponent hasn't done yet. Like, the pressure is absolutely on. Always that ever wondering of, am I going to get sniped here at the end? Is my opponent just going to come in quickly and just like, haha? And get your GGs in chat there for kefffka, finishing this in, I can pull up the race room, 1 hour, 40 minutes, 28 seconds, race time, GG time. Oh right, I forgot ZSR has the bot that tells us that too. Neat. And of course Days Cloud finished the seed in 121. Of course he did, he's Days Cloud, he's really good at this game.
Okay, so I'm working on pulling both runners in for an interview. Just give me one moment here.
Yeah, you do what you gotta do. Zaruvyen's gonna check out a tile room here for us, it seems. I know this is something that he tends to like to do, especially if you find a boatload of keys in the front. I think he'll usually check it if you find 3, especially 4 keys in the front. Oh, by the way, shout out to Scottish Brave. Thank you for the rate of 19. We are just finishing up here in a little bit. We got the runners coming in for an interview shortly, hopefully. It's quite a disgusting fun one. I'm sure you would have enjoyed it, Scottish. We had the fire rod on the purple chest and Canis Samari on blacksmith there. So, hello, welcome to our runners. How are you doing?
Hello, hello. Fine, thank you. And you?
Biggest smile on my face.
How did you enjoy that mess?
Oh my goodness. Could I be any later to Hammer? Could I?
I'm trying to remember which you actually found Hammer first. Where was Hammer again? I'm like blanking it.
Skullwood's big chest.
Skullwood big chest, yes.
Oh right, the silly spot.
I did that after a first trip to Mountain, because I found the hookshot in pod and went straight to Mountain, which was totally empty.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by just like the lack of literally anything on the mountain. I looked and I was like, wow, this is just Disappointment City.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, Kefka found the hammer early, but I think the fire rod is what really did it. Kefka found that way early.
Yeah, when I found it, I thought it could be really, really good for me, because without the mirror, that's something you can check very, very late. And that's what you did, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Yeah, I went all over the place with the hammer, and then decided, wait, before we do Thieves Town's basement, we should probably take the purple chest in, and said, well, shoot.
And it's a very understandable skip, because no one likes doing blacksmith chain, especially when you've already gotten the Samaria off of the blacksmith itself. It's like, okay, I feel like I've probably gotten the worth out of that, right?
Yeah,
Right.
That's true, he gave Samaria, yes.
Yeah, but you need all of the pieces of the blacksmith chain to finish the seed, thanks to where it put the mirror.
Yeah, exactly. And with the fire rod, I went straight to do the dungeons I could, and then I went to the mountain to check if Hera was the last crystal. It was between Hera and Turtle Rock, and since I was in the mountains, I thought, oh, let's go to Turtle Rock. I can check that. I can't finish it because it was Trinex in it, but it was the most checks on the map, so I went there for the mirror, and fortunately it was there, and fortunately there was no Trinex to kill in GT.
Yeah, very thankfully that didn't find that ice rod, but also didn't have to find that Trinex. Zaruvyen, when you were going into Turtle Rock the second time, I noticed that you had marked Trinex as the boss, but didn't do a map check. Did you map check the first time you were in there? I didn't really notice it.
Yeah,
was that like
first time
accident or?
No, that was. No, I looked at the map. I don't remember if it was the first time or the second time. I think the second time, knowing that I had the fire rod but not having the ice rod, I wanted to know just how deep I could go.
Okay, because I definitely missed the map check the first time you went in there, and I was like, why did he randomly mark that as Trinex? He didn't do a map check. What's going on? Does he have some sort of psychic knowledge of he's just crafting yes, the Trinex is going to be here, I guarantee it.
World's fastest map check. No. The one thing I was worried about is that we were going to have a Trinex on one of the last two crystals, and that the ice rod could be anywhere, including as root as pedestal. So I wanted to make sure that wasn't a worst case scenario, so I checked the map before I dove in.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that, and I don't know if you guys have seen because I brought it up briefly in the chat. That Structural Mike had actually made a new tool, a spreadsheet tool, linked in a couple of Discords already, about doing MC boss, and it has a little predictor and tells you the odds that you'll find the bosses remaining and stuff like that. It's a cool little tool.
Oh, never heard about it.
He just put it out not but a couple hours earlier today, so
Okay.
I was just messing with it and saw it. I was like, oh, this is neat. Let's find out what our chances of Trinex are. And it's I think once we finish it off, we have a 38% chance of seeing Trinex in either Turtle Rock, Ice Armos, or Pod.
That was great not to see Trinex.
I was really afraid of that ice rod.
Kefka, did you go into Eastern early and run into the Argus?
Yes, I went to see Argus.
Let's say and quit. I went there early because we had the bow and the lamp very early.
So yeah, I checked everything. So Argus, okay, I'll come later with the hookshot. And yeah, what was I made some dumb mistakes. Dying in desert, trying to go to Agina. That was bad. And when I went there the second time, I didn't remember I had already the Moon Pearl. I wanted to go, so I thought I'd go do Aganim as soon as I have the Moon Pearl, but I don't know why I didn't remember I got it. I don't even remember where it was.
Mini Moldrum Cave, I think, was the Moon Pearl. With the bow.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed the bow, but not the Moon Pearl. But, no, yes, I noticed it because I fixed it after that, so I knew I had it.
just a stupid mistake. Like going for the P in Dark Cross too, not counting my items. It was a great move. But it was quite a fun seed, and all the maps we had. I put the map on my tracker. I think we had 6 maps for the Dark World before going in it, or something like that.
Yeah, I noted that when you guys were in Castle Tower. I was like, wow, we're going to get a Dark World map check pretty early, and we're going to have literally everything. I was like, this game was just really happy with giving you guys maps early.
Maps and also compasses were flinging around, so you basically knew what you were up against walking into almost anywhere.
Yeah, true. Which is helpful to remember that the compasses give you the boss you will face, and not going to meet him if you can't kill him.
Alright, so as we pretty much finish wrapping up here, do you guys have any final thoughts on the seed, or anything else like to shout out to like your fellow group mates? Because this was your game too. You guys are done between each other for the rest of the groups right now, right?
Yeah, that was so 1-1. I'm glad it's my first
victory in the tournament so far, so I'm happy. I was beginning to be afraid to be 0-6 at the end of the group phase. So at least I have 1 victory now. It's done. I can play more confidently now.
Oh, I definitely know that feeling. I'm still waiting to get my first win in too, so...
I'm just glad to get my first loss out of the way, because you're going to take at least one.
Yeah.
This is a pretty strong group. We all have different strengths, and we're all at about the same level of... I don't know if execution is the word I'm looking for, but when you just kind of blend it all together, I think we're all pretty evenly matched here, so it'll be exciting to get my second game in with Rot and schedule one with Duden as well and see what happens there, especially since I'm kind of burned out and inverted already.
What, you mean you don't want to run inverted anymore?
I don't.
Rolled it twice in a row for your first 2?
I'm just waiting to play Ambrosia. Come on now.
Same. I did 4 races so far and only 2 modes, so I like to try the other ones a bit. Ambrosia and the Key Sanity one, I don't think I've even trained on this one, but I know a bit of Key Sanity, but I really like to play this one too, and Ambrosia is nice. Not the open, too much open for the qualifiers, so it's open is okay, but the 2 other modes I like to have them in the next races.
Alright, so Ricky, do you want to wrap us up here then, or...?
Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. So, thank you to our runners. Kefffka and Zaruvyen did a fantastic job. I am aware that SGFR is waiting to interview you, so go ahead and jump over there. That was an exciting race to watch. Thank you so much. Thank you to Amarith for jumping in commentary with me, and thank you to Lady Laura Linda for tracking. Coming up on ZSR tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have a Zelda 2 Randomizer Max Randall Tournament match Winners Bracket Finals between Trail Z and BKPKT Patrick. At 10 p.m. Eastern, we have the Zelda 2 Randomizer Weekly Race. And very late tonight, it was originally scheduled for 2 a.m. Eastern, but I think it's been moved. I'm sorry. Wait. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Never mind. It is still 2 a.m. Eastern. I don't know. The schedule got mixed up. But there's supposed to be a Skyward Sword Randomizer co-op tournament match between British Stargate and TWSITD, and that's going to be exciting to watch. So with that, we're going to go and sign off here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful time, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!